What's going on, guys? Bobby with Consumer Time Capsule, back with another review for you here. And as promised, we are finally taking a look at all 5 flavors of the Lay's Flavor Icon potato chips. These are the 5 limited edition flavors of Lay's for the year. So Ryan, why don't you come in and take a peek? Here's what they all look like. And then we've got, it's Geno's inspired Philly cheesesteaks. We got Cocina Azul inspired Chile Relleno. We got Carnitas Street Tacos from El Torito. We got kettle cooked Lay's New York style pizza from Grimaldis. And then last but not least, Nashville Hot Chicken from Party Foul, F-O-U-L. I like that. So you got a good shot of all of them together here, Ryan? All right, well, I guess we're going to have to tackle these one at a time because the wind keeps picking up and blowing all the bags down, so we'll be right back with the first flavor. First up is that Party Foul Nashville Hot Chicken. I forecast that this is going to be the best tasting flavor. I love Nashville Hot Chicken, but, you know, really disappointed that it's not Hattie B's. You had a Hattie B's, Ryan? Oh, that's the famous Nashville Hot Chicken. I don't know, I guess I have to check out this Party Foul next time that I'm over in the Nashville area, but here's what they look like. You get a nice kind of orangish hue, very similar to a Nashville Hot Chicken. Not quite as much coverage as you would expect of a truly Nashville Hot Chicken, but $1.89 at Kroger, just like all but the Chile Relleno flavors. Yeah, that paprika's really coming through. Great spices. Goes perfect on a Lay. You know, I loved the Nashville Hot Chicken Pringles. I think we did that for review number 100. The downside of using a Pringle is Pringles aren't greasy. Lay's are greasy, and so is Nashville Hot Chicken. It's like wet, you know?
That is
this is greasy and wet, and that's very accurate. And this is going to be very, very hard for anybody to compete with. Probably should have done these last. And our second flavor we'll be trying here is the Grimaldis New York style cheese pizza. And I gotta tell you, I'm 2 for 2 on not having ever been to or heard of the places. Grimaldis, Ryan?
Never.
Really? Okay. Well, that's really a bummer. Actually, I've only been to 1 out of the 5 restaurants, and I think you have too, right? Just Geno's.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I think just about everybody's been to Geno's. But all right, Grimaldis, see what you got. Ooh, that smells good. Wow, it smells like marinara sauce, and I love marinara sauce.
Take a few more. Feels like cheating that these are kettle cooked.
It is, but you needed to grade on a curve after the Nashville Hot Chicken, I think. So, yeah, that's true. Good detail, Ryan. I don't think I mentioned that these are kettle cooked. They are kettle cooked, so the texture's great. Very accurate.
Damn.
It almost tastes more like middle school cafeteria pizza than a New York pizza,
God,
but I like
right.
it. That is, for me, that's not an insult. It tastes like the square pizza that they'd put on the square trays that almost look like a TV tray. This is what it tastes like.
Shout out to Joe Cone.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Cone. Is Joe Cone still kicking? Oh,
No.
man. R.I.P. Joe Cone.
He lives on today.
This one is for you. Another good one. And the third flavor, but the first Wavy Lay flavor, also $1.89 at Kroger, is gonna be the, who threw this one? El Torito Carnitas Street Taco. So I'm excited about these just because not only is it a pretty interesting sounding flavor, but also using the Wavy Lays, my personal favorite style of Lay's chips. Looks like some pretty good coverage on these. Those nice deep ridges. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and grab a bite?
I might grab a
There we go. Dang, that's my kind of bite. All right, so. Right out of the gate, tasting a lot of cilantro. I love cilantro. Got a little bit of that light lime kicker. Great job capturing the pork flavor, which is very difficult and very complex. Doesn't get tried very often.
Surprisingly bright taste.
It is, and it's like, it's just a layered taste. It's a complex potato chip eating experience.
Really salty.
Really salty, but I think that part of that is it's the third bag of chips in a row that we ate.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to count off too much for that. I don't think any of these are going to be lightly salted. I mean, these are very difficult, bold flavors, so there is going to be some saltiness, and that is going to create some fatigue, no matter how you're snacking on them. But really well executed, and a very difficult flavor, one that I can't imagine has ever been attempted before. So. That brings us to the fourth flavor, the Cocina Azul Chile Relleno flavor. Cocina Azul is a Albuquerque restaurant, and man, who would have guessed New Mexico is getting some representation here today. The cool thing is with the chili relleno that I've noticed is not only is it a traditional chili relleno, but it's also bringing in those New Mexico hatch peppers, because it looks like it's covered in hatch peppers. Because I would have expected a New Mexico flavor to be hatch, but it's not. But I guess that's going to be an element of it. These, I can smell them from here. Very strong. You can tell that there's going to be some cheesiness and some pepper kind of flavor to it. So Ryan, why don't you grab some of those? Of course, we're back to just the regular Lay's. Now, this flavor is only available at Walmart in big bags and 7-Eleven in small bags. Still only $1.89, so still a great deal. This one isn't really hitting the mark for me. It tastes like a bell pepper.
Yeah, tastes like pepper.
But not even like a spicier pepper, just...
Poblano.
Yeah, poblano. Yeah, maybe a poblano.
Which I think is the chili that they use.
Is that what they use?
I'm not sure.
They're so deep fried that I can't ever really taste the pepper when I eat chili relleno. Anyway, yeah, this one's not really hitting the mark for me like the others were. Ryan, are you any different stance here?
I agree.
Yeah, not. It's all right.
Barely cheesy.
Really, I can't taste any cheese. Well, if this one's cheesy, I don't know what is, because if y'all have ever been to Geno's, and Ryan, I know you've been because we've been together, Geno's Steaks, that's a Philadelphia must visit. This is their Philly cheesesteak flavor. I'm sure that Pat's isn't real crazy about this, but I gotta tell you, I like Pat's over Geno's. But I think when we visited, I liked Geno's over Pat's. So, I mean, who really knows? That was a long time. We were just kids.
Which one is the ultra patriotic one? Geno's?
Geno's, yes.
Yeah.
But Pat's, I mean, they're probably both. They're probably both.
Yeah, we'll believe that.
Both on that front. But nonetheless, look, if you're talking about flavors of America, you know, or as they call it this year, flavor icons, you're talking about an icon, Geno Steaks. I've got to imagine a majority of the people who have been to Philadelphia have been there. You get the whiz with. Mm-hmm. I'm just hoping I can taste some mushrooms in this thing. Not holding my breath on that. It is a distinctly cheese whizzy flavor.
Yep.
That's tough to nail. I'm getting very little steak. It tastes like a greasy cheese whizzy bun, which is part of it. There's some onions, and it's a little bit of like a caramelized onion flavor. It's not like a sour cream and onion flavor.
It's a little bit stale.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
Underwhelming.
Not bad.
Not bad, but, well, we got to get into the gimmick grade. Look, I love when they do this every year. I think that this year they came with some really challenging flavors. Maybe the packaging wasn't phenomenal. Maybe the choice of restaurants wasn't what it probably should have been. I feel like I've been to the most iconic restaurant in probably 40 states. So I really would have liked to have more of a flavor benchmark. I think that they picked some more kind of obscure stuff. Mm-hmm. But, hey, That's the way it works sometimes, right? I mean, that's just kind of the luck of the draw. I'm going to give the gimmick an 8.5 out of 10. I think Lay's should keep on doing this. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and that's because they went with hard flavors, and I really respect that, and overall they did a pretty good job of that. And that brings us to the capsule countdown for taste. A lot of great inclusions today, but one of them not so much, and that's the Cocina? Cocina, so now I don't even remember. Azul? Is it Cocina Azul? Yeah, the chili relleno flavor. It just, that was one that really fell flat. It just tasted like bell pepper flavored chips, and I do like bell peppers, but I just don't eat a potato chip that tastes like them. I gave it a 3.5 out of 10. Fifth place on today's capsule countdown, one that I really wish they didn't include. I think it kind of brought down the average for everybody else. Fourth place, man, it really breaks my heart, but you got to give it to Geno's, right? I mean, even though Geno's might make the best entree of all 5 places, I got to give it to Geno's. Geno's is, they've already seen the bags. Geno's is, one of my favorite tourist trap type restaurants to go to, but I just didn't taste the steak. I really needed the steak to elevate the chip. They did a great job of capturing the greasy cheese whizzy sandwich experience, but there's more to it than that. Did have some onion. It was good. I would eat it, but I wouldn't probably buy it again, so I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Fourth place on today's capsule countdown. Third place, I guess you got to give it to the cheese pizza. What is it, Grimaldis? Grimaldi's cheese pizza. It tastes like good cafeteria pizza. It doesn't really taste like New York style pizza. I don't really know what would have brought it over that edge, though. I think it's a little bit ambitious of flavor to capture in a chip. It does kind of corner them into a kind of no-win situation. They did a good job of making a decent cheese pizza flavored chip. It is not a cheese flavored chip that they put a pizza logo on. It's not a cheese flavored chip with a little bit of, marinara taste. It is cheese pizza.
Yeah. You
could not possibly, it was the most accurate of all 5 flavors, but not to the New York element of it. And, but still solid. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Solid competition, but not necessarily one that's really gunning for the top spot. Second place, I got to give it to the Carnitas Street Taco. I mean, Ryan, I see you begrudgingly nodding in agreement because I know that you were kind of maybe had a hunch that it was the best, maybe. But look, Wavy Lay's is a little bit of an unfair advantage.
I agree.
And
I feel like
and because of that, you do kind of have to. You got to keep a more open mind to the regular Lay experience, and I think that the way that they structured those particular flavors, I think it benefited both. The taco flavor needed the chip. It needed the curve, but it did a great job. They got the pork in there. They definitely got the cilantro and lime in there. There's a little bit of cheesy flavor in there. Great, well-balanced chip. The most ambitious chip of the day. Really well done, 8 out of 10, and second place on today's capsule countdown. But our winner, as I suspected, and as I pretty much spoiled right out of the gate, boy, oh boy, sometimes I complain about Lay's because they're too salty or too greasy, but in this Nashville Hot Chicken chip, it just felt so right. Amazing execution, better than the Pringles execution in Nashville Hot Chicken. I love Nashville Hot Chicken, and they did a good job of capturing the flavor. It maybe doesn't taste as much like chicken as it should, but the flavor and the spices on the outside of a Nashville Hot Chicken pretty much distract from the chicken when you're eating it anyway. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. First place on today's capsule countdown. And the best Lay's chip that I've had since the ketchup chips in the Flavors of America contest. So there's that. I think it's pretty solid chip and one that they should really be proud of. But now it's time for our From the Archives product. Look, if you guys have been watching the CTC review long enough, I think you know. Crunch taters are an obsession for me. They have been ever since the very first time that I saw Home Alone. Kevin, when he's watching The Angels with Filthy Souls, he's eating his crunch taters and he's eating Mighty Mesquite Barbecue. So I've been looking for this bag for years and years and years. I was never able to find it. course, Esteban P got us that nice poster at Christmas time. I've got some like pen sets. I've got different promotional items, but I never had the bag. This was left in a car that somebody bought, and they, instead of throwing it in the trash because it's from 1988, they put it on eBay and charged me $60 for it, and I was more than happy to pay the price. This bag is a little bit off-centered. You can kind of see where it cuts into the next bag and stuff, and it is certainly shows its wear and shows its age. It's not like the well-preserved ones that we have when we review stuff. It still had all of the mesquite remnant inside. It wasn't a cleaned out bag, so I cleaned it up, and I'm just so happy to add this to my collection. This to me is just a really special thing. It makes me, I can't look at it and not think of what it was like as a kid to watch Home Alone and just feel that, and just like, I don't know, it just was something that has been a goal of mine for a long time. And as a matter of fact, on our next From the Archives, we got another Crunch Taters thing that just was recently added to our collection. Actually, I think that's gonna be 2 weeks from now, because next week is our Halloween special, Ryan. Whoa. So we've got 4 different Halloween-oriented products. I think we've got Kit Kat Witch's Brew, we got Vampire Kisses, we got the return of Mountain Dew Voodoo Mystery Flavor, and I don't know, one other thing is probably good too. Oh, Franken-Cups. Franken-Cups from Reese's. So anyway, guys, hope you're here for that review. And of course, until next time, I will miss you until I see you. Cheers.